Have I been replaced, Austin?
Yes.
You cheated on me with Fluffy Cat? She knows, too.
Yes. Laugh. Laugh while you still have a voice to laugh with. Soak it up, enjoy it. For it will be your last breath. Your last pitiful laugh on this godforsaken earth. Human.
What's up, you fluffy pussies? Today, we're going over the craziest things you've ever seen somebody on drugs do. Cat hair everywhere.
It's my drug. Cat hair.
My drugs are cats. So let's get right into the memes, the cringe, the creams,
And the
and
crims.
see what's going on.
You can see down your throat.
Ready?
Man, these guys never shut up. I'm so bored. I just wish I had something to distract myself with. Something fun, like, I don't know, like a mobile game. Maybe one specifically themed about Vikings. If only something like that existed. I hear your prayers, little one, and I have delivered your request. Now, let me introduce you to Vikings, War of Clans. Vikings War of Clans was inspired by top PC strategy and RPG games of the 90s like Age of Empires and Diablo, the ones that we were all crazy about in our younger years. If you want to relive these memories once again and get a new experience, this mobile game with clean-cut graphics and smooth gameplay is definitely what you need. Vikings gives you the luxury option of choosing your own playstyle, which is just a wonderful thing, isn't it? What makes Vikings World so addictive is that more than 20 million online players are constantly changing the way the game evolves by never-ending fighting over resources, forging new alliances, and competing in live events. Pro tip, go on Tinder, get a date, now go on that date. While on the date, make them download Vikings, then proceed to crush them and steal all their resources, ultimately leaving them to pay the bill and their clan to burn. You are the king. Odin would be proud. Support our channel by downloading Vikings down in the description for free and get a special bonus right now of 200 gold plus a protective shield by using our links down in the description. Thank you guys so much for being here, and now let's get back to the memes. Ta-ta for now.
Chris Harkey says, went to a local music festival at a bar and a woman in her upper 60s was just at the bar, coincidentally, and had no idea that a metal show was taking place the same night. She was also about 3.5 feet tall.
For reference.
She ended up doing cocaine and grinding on / hugging all the dudes who were obviously creeped out by it before she stole the mic from It Lies Within and kept trying to do bad metal screams, obviously having no idea what the words were when he held the mic out to the crowd. She then got on stage with them, stole the mic, and continued her little show in the middle of their set before security threw her out. How does she keep stealing the mic from grown-ass men?
I imagine it's because, like, they just probably are like, what do I do? Like, I can't shove her. She's just a brittle old woman.
Right.
She's, I don't know. She's like a beauty bark.
She's just rocking out, man. Just rocking out. Having a
Dude,
good old time.
It literally sounds like my mom, and that's what fucking stresses me out about this situation, is that, like, my mom would do that shit. She, like, when I was in, like, a high school band, she'd show up, and everyone was like, oh, it's cool that your mom would come out. I'm like, no, it's not cool when your mom comes out to flirt with your friends and, like, put on extensions and wear, like, a cowboy hat and get all covered in studs and get all drunk and high on pain medication and then start a mosh pit. She got pushed down on the floor. Fucking idiot. Or who are we talking about? Sorry.
Did you just black out for like 15 seconds there? Alright, Zachary Brown says, I've seen two homeless dudes on meth viciously fight each other over who gets to enter this 7-Eleven. Not in who gets to go in first, but in general. So it's a turf war.
Yeah, exactly, it's a turf
between
war.
two homeless people on meth.
Like, hey man, you know this is my 7-Eleven, right?
Yeah, right.
I mean, it makes sense, like, because usually in those situations you can, like, you can find like one or two of the guys and you can, like, you know, they'll help you out, they'll like clean the lot for you or something in exchange for just hanging out or like a, you know, like a meal or something. But so you don't want to encroach on their territory, and because you get too many of them, then they'll stop doing it. It's like,
I guess, yeah.
I will fucking kill you if you come near my turf.
Get out of my
There's like, there's just war zones outside of the 7-Eleven.
Right.
Like, it's like street gauntlet set up with like Monster Energy discount signs,
Right.
like hiding behind them, and just like throwing curbs at each other.
Bum fights, the real version. Sonia Ritter says, Some guy put cologne on his head and tried to burn the sides of his hair off so it could be a mohawk. But instead his whole head caught fire. Thank God I seen a glass of water to dump on his head.
More like a no hawk, because like it's like mo, but it sounds like no. Because I said that earlier, remember?
Ryan D. Bettner.
I had more jokes to say.
Eat most of one of those little styrofoam ice chests. How
Holy
do you
fuck.
eat most of a styrofoam ice
I
chest?
probably got full. Dude, yeah. Could you imagine sitting down and watching somebody eat a whole?
Why did nobody stop him?
He knew that he ate most of it, so he sat down and watched this man just like.
Yeah, why didn't you stop him?
I probably wanted to see if he could eat it all. Just like, maybe at first he was gonna, but he's like, holy shit, he's really going for it.
Right.
Like, oh, I don't want to be a dick. Like, he's already committed, you know. He's
Fear
going for
Factor, the real game.
something. Styrofoam edition.
Evan Kuyach says, I work at a Shell gas station and I've seen my fair share of crackheads. The best thing I've seen is a prostitute undressing herself and trying to give my coworker a lap dance in the middle of the store. She then tried to hop the counter and empty our cash register, which resulted in the cops being called and her screaming the entire way to the squad car.
But in her head, she was probably Angelina Jolie. Like,
Probably.
She's just like seducing them perfectly.
She-
or it's like Sucker Punch. Where
She
she's
was
like,
Julia
it's all her
Roberts in
world.
Pretty Woman. That's
Right,
what
it's
she
just like
was.
perfect. It's like, hey boys, and
Yeah.
they have no idea that I'm about to rob them blind. But in
Yeah.
reality, she's just like, money.
Yeah. Want
Not
to
flying.
dance?
Yeah, just rubbing her pussy on the cash register.
Gross.
Why won't it open?
Danielle Smith. About 2 years ago on Christmas, one of my geeked out neighbors from directly across the street ran into the road in front of my house and just yelled to her boyfriend, "What the hell did you put in this batch? Them damn lights are moving." At the time, I had one of those projector Christmas light things with Santa and some reindeer in my front yard.
Sure, that's a weird time to trip.
It's a weird time to just run up and say, "What's in this batch?
Right, yeah.
What's in here?"
Run out of the house away from your boyfriend to ask him a question.
Right.
It's like, hey honey, I have a question. What is it? It's like
Them
sprint out of the
damn
house.
lights are
What's in the
moving."
batch?
Jesus Christ. Keith Lenza III says, leave their own front door open, nodding off, which led to their 2-year-old child in nothing but a diaper wandering all the way to a local store around 20 minutes away.
Holy fuck.
Jesus.
What a lucky kid.
How
Didn't get
did he
hit.
make it 20 minutes without somebody being like,
Is that a
that's a
fucking-
child in a diaper?
Not my problem.
Yeah, right? Just like, nope.
Starbucks closes in 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Not my
right.
problem.
I'm not touching it.
Yeah, dude, that's so far for a child to walk in a diaper.
Seriously.
Like, how did nothing happen to that fucking kid? How did it not
Right.
get hit? How was it not abducted?
20
How-
minutes away for a grown man is like an hour for a child.
Right, especially, yeah, just like wandering, getting distracted and shit.
Yeah.
It's probably outside for like 3 hours or some
Jesus
shit.
Christ.
That's insane. It went to the store, bought groceries, and came back.
Yeah,
Like, there's
really.
more to the story.
Here you go, Mom. Timothy Hughes says, I work at Walmart and this guy sat in the bathroom for 3 hours bleeding all over the place because he busted an abscess from shooting up.
Oh, man. How do you even deal with that? Like,
Why?
I'm not physically removing that guy. Like, it's
How do you
covered
know
in
he was
blood.
in the bathroom for 3 hours? I feel like as soon as you found out he was in there, you would have kicked him out, right?
It was probably like maybe like he came into the store earlier and then they.
And they
They're
like
like-
3 hours later, they found him finally.
Yeah,
like,
because like, well, yeah, if you're in like a stall in Walmart and there's just the casual public walking in, you know, they're not gonna random people just being like, oh, it's locked, and going to the next thing. Like they
Yeah.
probably wouldn't notice for a while until somebody probably went in there to clean it or something. And we're like, oh my god, how long has this guy been in here?
That's-
Just pouring blood out of an ab. Oh my god.
That's
Ugh.
disgusting. Sarah Garcia says, I once saw my dad's crackhead friend light himself on fire to make kids laugh. To be fair, it was hilarious as a kid.
Well, at least he did it. Like, he made him
Yeah.
laugh. He did. He
And
set
now-
out what he wanted to do.
And now he's Freddy Krueger.
It sounds just like a really awkward.
Like
Like it wasn't even a
something
drug
you would do to commit to a joke.
It's like
You would do, like if you couldn't get injured, you would do so
Oh,
much
yeah.
shit
all the
as
time.
a joke.
Oh yeah, I would jump out of moving vehicles often.
If you couldn't get hurt.
Oh yeah, that'd be hilarious. Like, dude, I do so many dumb things.
It's fucking someone says a bad joke, you're just over
Yeah,
it.
just kill
I'm out.
myself. Just fucking, yeah, exactly. Just slam my head in a car door or something. Just the most absurd ways. If I could regenerate and feel none of that, oh yeah, that'd be hilarious. Like, just imagine running full speed and just diving off of something as like a joke, or if somebody like says a minor insult to you and then you go, just like jump off like a bridge. It's like how funny that'd be.
Risto Lepanin says, I almost got killed by my old neighbor who used heroin. One day he decided to throw a TV from the balcony on the 6th floor and it almost hit me. I've also seen a guy on amphetamine jerking off on the steps of a local church. I think he found the Lord.
What if that was Jesus? The second coming was just him coming.
The real second coming.
But what if he comes back as like an awful person and it's like our job to forgive him? Be like, do the, you know, he died for our sins and now we gotta like watch him come or something.
Moving on. Daniel Neil Roberts at the store used to work at a man with a backpack threw his bag down and fist fought a thorn bush.
Ow.
This was 9 a.m, mind you. He was so furious with this thorn bush, he was calling it names and yelling at the top of his lungs and tore a branch down and strangled it. Dude was on crack or something, but it was hilarious.
I think my biggest thing is that you had to highlight that it was 9 a.m. Like that's a crazy time of day. Like it was fucking. Could you believe
Well, it's
that it
like
was 10 a.m?
Like it's like a wake and bake, but it's fucking heroin,
Right.
Or crack.
Probably just on a bender from all night.
Yeah, seriously.
Dude, fighting a thorn bush sounds awful. Throwing swings at a fucking thorn bush.
Yeah, fuck that.
It would be pretty funny to watch a man strangle a bush though. Because it's like imagine him grabbing one thing. It's like this big.
Yeah.
To imagine that that's a person.
Right.
Like I'm gonna fucking strangle you,
Right.
you pencil neck geek.
Demacornio Godovius Guerrera says,
Nice name.
eat grass while we were telling him not to. He only responded, I'm not eating the fucking grass. And then responded to eat more. As you do when you're eating grass.
Just completely convinced he's not eating grass.
I'm not eating the fucking grass.
Like stoned out of his mind, just eating grass, and he's like, "Oh, it's just real good." Like, dude, quit eating grass. It's not grass.
Right.
Why do you keep saying that?
This is a nice coconut cream pie.
Probably had the best shit later.
Leo Bouchel says, try to eat her boobs.
He said it twice, and there's no follow up.
Try to eat her boobs?
Yeah, I want to know.
Try to eat her
because,
boobs.
like, think about that. Like, how awful that would be to look at. Somebody, like, trying to take bites out of their tit.
Yeah, that's weird. Maybe she's just trying to get milk or something.
She thought it was a Jimmy John's sandwich.
This is where I put my sandwich. Noelle Dufour says, my girlfriend saw a chick trying to listen to the ground with a kazoo. What? That's a new one.
That'd be a fun sight to walk across. Like, what is she doing? She's like, hold on, shh. Just a fucking kazoo pressed to the ground.
I'm listening for all the horses. Ben Collette says, scream, you'll never take me alive, at what I presume was a wasp, and jump into the river and swim to the shore, where he proceeded to lose his clothes and grab himself. That's when I stopped watching. Not about to spend my Sunday watching a guy jack off. I can go to church for that shit.
Oh, hey,
There's a lot of jerking off in churches in this one.
So you can go to the church and watch that other guy jerk off.
Interesting.
It started off like funny and kind of just like, oh, that's a funny joke.
Right.
You're like, you'll never take me alive. Like jump into a river, like,
swam across the shore,
and then he immediately got on his
and then
jerking
immediately
off.
took his clothes off. It sounds like a bad parody
Like,
YouTube video.
He jumped in with like a good idea and he hit the water and then just completely. He was like, why am I in the water?
Yeah.
You know what would be sick? Jerking off right now.
Right,
Just completely forgot what he was doing.
Yeah. Dale R. Newberry says, I once knew some whacked out hippie that did so much acid he thought he was a cat. He literally would climb up trees and meow and hiss at people walking by and then curl up on the ground and purr. How are these people allowed to be in society? That's my question.
My thing is that like getting down on all fours and trying to like act like a cat. The first thing you should realize is that you're not a cat.
You're
like,
right.
Try to run up a fucking tree with all fours like a cat can. Be like,
Yeah.
just like, oh, I'm not a cat. It's problem solved.
Well, acid apparently. A lot of acid.
I guess.
John Tribout says, seen a guy trade the truck he was driving for drugs, then walk home. What?
Damn.
He straight up said, I need more drugs than I need my wheels.
Yeah, just give me a bump of coke, man. You can take the truck.
Like, unless it was literally a piece of shit truck. Even then.
Yeah, it's still like a vehicle for.
Then.
I wish I knew like the amount it was, because it just sounds like I'm imagining like he just like got like a joint out of this or something.
Yeah.
He's just really fiending. He's like, oh, I don't know.
Literally walked home for drugs.
Just, I imagine I'm so
insane.
proud too. Just like, idiot, I killed somebody in that car.
Yeah, right. And I got drugs.
I'm
I'm about to do it again. Here we go. Shaggy Piers says masturbating while fighting off cops in a police station. True story. Meth will fuck you up.
And also give you
I've
superpowers.
I think I've seen a video of that happening, actually.
Should probably clear your search history.
I swear it wasn't me.
Dude, that is an impressive feat though. You always hear that a lot, like dudes on drugs just like jerking it while fighting. Like that's, I don't think there's anything more alpha than like proceeding to try and make yourself come while fighting people and winning. Like there's nothing more alpha than that.
Back up! I'm gonna shoot! I'm gonna shoot! Back up!
Just imagine getting your ass kicked by a dude jerking off. Like that would just be the most shameful
I wouldn't
thing
want to
ever.
approach him. Like I don't know where he's at in his rub.
Right, but if he's coming at you in more than one way, it's like when you gotta defend yourself. You know.
No, I'm turning around and running.
Well, then he's got a great
I'll wait till
entry
I'll wait
point.
till he
Don't do
hits
that.
his fucking nut, and then
You
then he'll be tired. Then I'll go and kick his ass.
Jared, never expose your backside to a man jerking off.
I didn't. We're moving on.
I'm moving on.
Winnie Joshua Winslet says, I watched an old coworker eat shrooms, and he must have had a bad trip because he ripped out a
Jesus.
tooth.
Oh my god. What was he tripping about? So leave your best answers in the comments below.
Maybe he thought he was asleep.
Or maybe he was like, oh yeah, that's right, my teeth are candy.
Right,
I was like, oh
I'm
wait,
really
no, they're
hungry.
not.
Oh yeah, that's right. I have these things I can eat.
He's got this crazy thought in his head. Yeah, maybe he heard his tooth talking to him and was like, this needs to, oh yeah, I'll take this.
Yeah, fuck you,
Rip it
dude.
out.
I'm gonna jerk off on you first. I'm gonna kick your ass later.
Jerk off into his own mouth to show his tooth. What's up? That'll teach you. Come dribbling out of his face. There's a lot of cum in this episode, man.
Oh,
Please
well,
don't demonetize
drugs.
this.
Apparently, cum and drugs go hand in hand.
It's true.
Connor Bleister Bly says, I've seen a guy walking around tweaking on meth. He was walking around throwing butcher knives at
Oh my
signs
God.
outside of the music venue I was playing at.
There's plural.
Oh, this
It's like a bag full of knives.
Yeah, right? Like, who is this?
It's like
Who's
that-
this man?
That Vine where the dude's just like kicking. And he's like, you're gonna get in trouble, but he's just like
yeah.
lightly throwing butcher knives around. He's like, dude, stop.
What the fuck?
What a weird thing. Dude, drugs are crazy. How do you just like, I'm so high, I'm going to acquire a bunch of cutlery and then walk around the city
And
like,
throw them at signs.
fuck that sign, fuck that sign.
I guess you just like, it gets you in a state where you just don't care. You're like,
It's
you
the
feel
first thought that comes
invincible,
to your head.
you don't care, you're just like, I'm gonna do whatever the
Right.
fuck I wanna do.
Stop sign, fuck
And
your
that's
wife, you wanna get
throw
some
knives.
vengeance.
Alright, last one. Preston Hawk Peters says, me personally, I walked halfway across town, no jacket, no shoes, thinking I was Denzel Washington, screaming at random innocent people, then going into a 7-Eleven. It always happens at 7-Eleven.
Dude, that's
These
not-
poor 7-Eleven workers.
Nothing good has ever happened in the 7-Eleven.
Going into a 7-Eleven thinking I was on Punk'd and the cashier was Ashton Kutcher. So I started telling him how much of a son of a bitch he was. Ended up spending 3 weeks in a psych ward after that. What did you do? Was it meth? Was it crack?
Yeah, what would lead...
What was your drug of choice?
What would lead you to believe that the cashier at a 7-Eleven was Ashton Kutcher?
Or that you were Denzel Washington.
It's pretty
That's
funny.
so funny. Have you ever witnessed something crazy someone do on drugs?
Yeah, a couple times. Well, there was the 8-ball story. I feel like I've told that one on this show. The dude who like heroically threw a cue ball at somebody with a gun. Yeah, that dude was on drugs a lot. And then that same dude is the dude who ended up killing a cop around this area recently, like that last year.
We
yeah,
met the
drug
guy.
boy.
We met the guy who was at that call. He got the call. To
Oh,
go
that's
there.
right. Yeah, that's fucking so wacky. And then my mom had a drug dealer friend that I remember one time she was like just twacked out, and I don't know what it was, but she was trying to prove this point or something that her truck wasn't shitty. So she was just going like 100 down like OK Highway, you know, that, and her truck was like, it felt like it was falling apart. Like the back
Jesus.
window, like the middle one was missing, so there was like a tarp there. The tarp like ripped out and was like
Dude, I
ripped
was
off,
saying,
and everything was
drugs make you
rattling.
feel invincible.
Yeah, she was literally just like, in a car with, it was me, my 2 friends, and my mom, and then her, and just like flying down. I'm like, you're literally about to kill all of us. And then she was also hitting on my friend while this was happening, and because my mom had made a joke.
Nice truck, huh? It's a nice truck, just like your cock.
Yeah, if your truck was, or if your cock was this truck and this road was my pussy, you wanna, what are you doing? Like, just completely
You wanna
makes
do
no
some
sense.
crack?
Want me to smoke some crack off your cock?
Jesus Christ. That's wild. I've seen a few things. I think the most recent was when I was driving down this road, and there was a school. It was a high school, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And this woman was just like standing right in front of the school on the sidewalk, and she just pulls her pants down and just proceeds to shit on the sidewalk right in front of the school.
You saw that?
Yeah, I was literally driving by, going to the store, and I just like see this woman like, you know, she's standing there like coming up, you know, closer to her, and she just fucking pulls her pants down, squats, and just starts shitting. And I'm like driving by, and her face was the scariest thing I've ever seen. Like, she was so focused on getting that turd, like she was like literally just like
Nothing else mattered.
like her eyes were just like,
Not blinking.
and her face was like beet red. She's just like, I was like, oh my god. It's like the meme of that, like when you've not told somebody you're a vegan for 5 minutes or whatever. It's like
Right.
literally like
fucking
that. I was
funny.
like, what the fuck?
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Wild. Drugs are wild. Don't do drugs.
Nobody, please don't do them.
Please don't do the drugs.
You're gonna end outside of Fred Meyer just beating up kids.
Yeah, you're gonna be jacking
Kits.
off.
Said
And...
cats. Said kits. I don't know what that was. Like
Kits.
kittens and cats.
Kit Kats.
Fighting Kit Kats. Snap into this, bitch.
Thank you guys so much for watching the video. We'll see you in the next one.